Start that. Boom.
All the plugs.
All the plugs in the world. Oh. What do we got here? That's the guy actually. That we were just talking about. That's the dude that, yeah. Pretty cool, dude. I don't really remember going to high school with him, but apparently.
He said he was there.
He said he was there, man. Alright. I know we have many of the same friends. So.
Human.
You know Human?
Yeah.
I'll do Benihana. Hobbs, how about? Yep. Let's see. Ooh, Shane. Dude, right, see, that's what I'm talking about, dude. A girl, like, you know, man, that's what I'm saying, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus. Such a distractor. Look at I'm not even gonna invite her, because it's just gonna distract me. Like, what the fuck? Should I invite my uncle?
Invite them all. This is to the video we did last week?
No, this is to right now.
Oh, cool.
We're gonna tweet it. I think I used this one last time.
Google Plus?
I guess not. Thought I did that. Ooh, Pinterest. I think this one. Did I do this one last time? I did another one last time. I can't remember what it was. Taking too long. It wasn't this. Yup. Choose a board. I guess. We'll do that again. Okay. Right, I'm pretty sure we are still streaming. Yeah, okay. It's not quite time yet, so we can do a dab.
Cool.
Yay! Yeah, a little compulsive for some reason to grab these microphones. I don't really have a full bit or a joke figured out for them yet, but I figured, we can look really official for this one. Hello, thanks for tuning in to The Fresh.
I mean, it's definitely considered an oral pleasure.
Dude, is it? Because I don't really
Having
like...
a microphone on your face? Dude, people do the fake microphone all the time. Why would they just do that?
Because, I don't know, it's not really
asphyxiation thing, like... I need to have this thing up to my mouth to do this.
But hand to mouth. Okay, I think it's
the grip.
Yeah,
The
but
best things in life are shaped like this.
dude, I was watching this show, this unicorn show, Charlie the Unicorn. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? Shun him! Shun!
Shun! Take his kidneys.
I've definitely done more dabs today than any other day before. I went and did this radio show this morning with Sarge, his name is. Pretty cool shit. Mountain High 10 Radio. You can check him out on Mixler.com, or you can download the Mixler app. He does a thing on Mondays, the Wake and Bake Hour from 8:30 to 9:30. And we just sat there and told stories and did dabs, and it was fun. And he plays music, of course.
Right on.
It was a hell of a time, Sarge. Thanks for having me along. I had such a good time. It was a blast. I definitely want to come back. I left him some merch, so if you guys want to get a free copy of a free physical copy of the Life So Severe album, you can actually check that out. You have the chance to win that on Sarge's Wake and Bake show. That's Mondays, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. On Mountain High 10 Radio. So make sure you guys check that shit out. It's definitely hilarious.
Dude,
and
that
awesome.
was like a professional plug. That was a perfect execution of a plug. You just did like a random shout out.
Cool.
Exploited all the way, everything they do, all the things they're about.
Sick. Bet, dude, I'm learning this shit, man. I'm going to the library tomorrow.
Marketing.
I'm gonna get a book about sales. You know, it's gonna be pretty rad. So, so for those of you that are going to be joining us today, and those of you that look like you have joined us, we got 2 watchers. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I forgot to set this going. Citrus, who's usually my co-host, is actually not feeling well this evening.
Yeah.
So he is resting, and in his stead, we have our good friend Danny. You may remember him from, was it last week or the week before?
I know you guys do these a lot.
Yeah, so he was here one time and kind of, pitched in some stuff, and it was real good. So we have him back here today, and it's we're glad to have him. Everybody give him a round of applause. Yeah, we heard
Thanks
it.
for having me, Internet.
I totally said we heard it. Jesus.
We heard it.
I hope my mom doesn't heard this.
Did you hear it down by the creek?
I heard it, and I'm hoping my mom doesn't heard it. Heard it.
Washing up?
Washing and ate your cereal, and you had to wash the oil out of your clothes.
Your oil.
So, Danny, what you been up to, man?
Actually, today was a really productive day. I went to the homie Live Evil's house. Shout out to him. Got some producing done on some materials that I've been working on.
Sweet.
I don't really have much posted, so nobody can really find me. But I'm working on that right now, so that's what I was doing.
Okay.
That's what I'm up to. We're gonna do an EP. It's a poetic rap EP. Is the approach on it.
Okay.
And I genuinely, I've been doing some research, and I can't really find anybody else that's doing it that way. And I hate saying shit like that because it comes off arrogant, but I want to hear more stuff like what I'm doing, so I can get like inspiration and whatnot. So you guys, when I do get a single out or an EP up, I will let you know, and I want some feedback on people that I might remind you of, or artists that you feel like inspire you, that would inspire me, because I really want to expand in this new direction I'm going.
Word, there you guys have it. So you will come back and let us know when it's up and available?
Most definitely.
Okay, cool. So we definitely look forward to hearing from Mr. Tinker, and keep us posted, man. I definitely want to hear more about that shit.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds really exciting. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Poetic rap. It's funny, like, I'm a rapper, and I've been to a couple of poetry events, and I've even participated in a few, and I have to be honest, I feel cheesy as fuck kicking my rhymes. Like, I love when dudes kick their rhymes a cappella on stage. That shit's dope, you know what I'm saying? Or like when you're in person and somebody just drops some hotness a cappella, you know, that's dope. Right. But when you're up with a bunch of poets and you're up there dropping rhymes, it just feels a little cheap, you know.
Right.
I did very well in a contest one time.
Okay.
And
See,
the whole time I felt like I was cheating, bro. I just kind of felt like,
I'm a wordsmith.
Yeah,
this isn't
dude.
even fair.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Like, I'm a black belt at this shit. Are you fucking kidding me? You guys don't even rhyme. Like, I'm taking
you kids.
Yeah. Like, dude, what the fuck? I can keep rhythm like you would not be, like, you know. Anyway, yeah.
William Shatner, that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So, and who were you hanging out with?
Eli and Live Evil.
Live Evil.
I'm pretty sure it's Star Rats Productions.
Okay. I know that name has come up down here up here in the Colorado Springs area quite a bit. I've heard it a lot over the last couple weeks. I'm trying to remember where it's from. I was telling you earlier, I know I've heard it from you at least once. Yeah. We may have heard it from Citrus. Either way, I'm definitely going to be looking out for all of that.
He's trying to get on the map pretty hard, man. I mean, he's doing some I don't know how this is looked on in the you know, the little fam and whatnot, but he does some ghostwriting. Mm-hmm. And he's got like beats for days. He does all of his stuff, you know, on his own and whatnot. So I mean, he's got a lot of drive, a lot of passion. He loves what he's doing, and if you guys are looking for beats or any of that stuff, I'm sure he'd love to help you out.
I'm always looking for beats. So Live Evil, Eli, whatever you prefer. I hope to make the introduction sometime soon. So keep some beats hot and ready for Yitty. I would totally love it. Okay. Sounds pretty exciting. So things are stirred. The pot is being stirred here, you know. Yeah. So I kind of want to get into talking about charity. I'm just going to jump right into it. No fancy segue or whatever. You know, and I'm just going to bring it up because I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and So Citrus and I recently went out and did some charity work, and we posted about it. And so there is a bigger picture to the charity work that we did that particular day, and I can definitely get into that in more detail. So to let you know, what happened was Citrus has a song about finding inner happiness. And it's called Give It All to Him. And by him, he means the higher self, the inner self, the bigger picture, you know, whatever it is, the universe, whatever you call it, nature, God, fucking Allah, Buddha.
What is right, what is wrong, what is sin.
Take my
doubts and worries and I give it
all to him. Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, you're familiar with it. So, we're making a video, and in the video, he is passing out food to the homeless. But we are taking it a step further. We've decided that we're going to document some of their stories, and so we sat down and had conversations with these guys, and it was mostly guys. We only ran into one lady, but she declined to speak with us, and you know that's okay. We respected her wishes. She, you know, we hooked her up anyway. She definitely left with a meal and a high five and a handshake and stuff, you know.
A non-malicious ulterior motive. You were there to do a good thing, but if they wanted to talk, you know, you were there to listen as well.
Exactly.
I think that's really cool because a lot of people aren't really offering that option.
And so I definitely want to talk more about that and what I consider to be intent. Because the idea of intent has been coming up, and so we posted about it. We did an Instagram and posted it, and I'm sure several people saw that. And a friend of mine, and you know, and I know him, and I'm not trying to call him out or like start beef or anything, but this is an interesting conversation to have. You know, if you put it on Facebook, you did it for shares and likes.
Publicity.
Right. I told Citrus, as we're doing this, the reason that I want to sit down and have a conversation with these guys is specifically so that I don't want to feel like I'm exploiting them. Right. I want to know.
You actually took the time.
I want to learn a lesson today. I want to learn more.
I mean, and since you went out with that as your goal, I'm thinking that there's no way that your objective could be construed in that light. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess
agree.
you are semi-fearful of that happening, but in no way are you, like, actually doing that. You know
Correct.
what I mean? So, like, either, yeah, you're already covering your own back, and that's super rad, but I don't feel like you would have to.
I agree with that too. I don't think you have to. So then I also want to talk about the intent of, yes, we are posting. The only reason we are putting it on social media is for likes and shares. I agree with that fully.
Yeah.
I am trying to get people amped about this video that we're making. But obviously I'm interested in getting the music out there, but it's the message behind the music and it's the message behind the video that I'm interested in getting it out there. It's
like wording out why you're rapping in the first place. You just want people to hear why you truly do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so my question I want to ask though, is it wrong to do charity for likes and shares? So in my regard, I would argue that it depends on the intent.
Right.
For me, my intent for the likes and shares is I hope that people like that we are doing a good thing. I'm sure they're not liking it because gingers and Mexicans working together.
Right.
I'm sure they didn't like it because I'm fucking handsome. Some people undoubtedly liked it because I'm handsome. But for the most part, people are liking it because we were doing something nice. The reward we got was a thumbs up.
It brightened their day, it made them feel good, it reacted with them.
Okay.
It was relatable, it was, something that they wanted to see, or I'm just trying to think of all the reasons I just monotonously scroll through Facebook and like stuff, and it's generally because it's something I'm already interested in, or it made me smile.
Makes perfect sense. That's what I'm into also.
Right.
That's what everybody's into. Or some people click on shit that pisses them off, and they're
right.
These guys are doing charity just for the likes.
But that's because they're passionate about something, and when you think about things that you're passionate about, it's not just angry moments. When you're doing something that you're passionate about, you generally tip back on the greatest moments of your life.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So when people are stirred with anger and driven by passion, they can be really dangerous.
Okay. So, and then, if for me the idea of getting shares, I was hoping that people are sharing so that other people can see a good example. Other people can see how easy and rewarding it is to just go out for an hour and make a dozen people smile real big. Make a dozen people feel like people.
Right. And that's, I don't know, because I agree with you, I'm just trying to think of the other side of the opposing person, just to think of the opposing person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that they would be like, well, you're just kind of telling me that I could do better things with my time. Like, well, what the things I do with my hour aren't good enough.
And I am exactly saying that.
Okay.
I am exactly saying that.
So
I don't give a fuck.
If you have no ulterior motive, you have no hidden messages, you don't have any late fees, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're doing
Nobody's giving me royalties.
Yeah, you're doing exactly what you're saying you want to do. You're going out and doing it, and you're showing everybody that you can follow through, and I don't see anything wrong with that.
Cool. Okay, now let's say that my motives were different. Let's say I was just trying to sell music, and somebody was like, hey, bro, you know what's a great way to pull heartstrings? Start a fucking charity, man. Okay?
Right.
Okay. Now but let's say your charity, you actually did give money to the poor. You actually did go out for that hour and pass out food.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's it's all personal, because there's a bunch of CEOs of companies, full-blown companies that will only take $1 from their company. So it's all personal preference at that point. If you establish your own charity and it's got your name on it, unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, we live in the land of the free. So if you want to take more out of your cut because it's your cut from your company, you can, and that's fine. But I think if you're trying to be morally just and you want any of your arguments to stand valid, you should probably not pocket what you think you should pocket in the first place. Kind of like how you never drive off the lot with your first car. Like, oh, I'm gonna take this 20 bucks. Well, then you should probably take 10.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, and if that mentality was put in like charity type organizations, I would definitely give to them more.
Okay, so you're saying you have. Okay, let's clarify this. So you have beef with charity organizations.
And I have beef with where that money actually goes.
Okay, so which charity organizations are you thinking of? And it doesn't. Are you? Yeah. What charity organizations are you thinking of? Or
let's
what
start
types?
With Red Cross.
Red Cross.
You know,
okay.
Assuming that they do get the billions that they talk about, you know, and they still need to do blood drives and they need to do all of these like.
Mm-hmm. Well, billions of dollars does not equal blood. Like blood.
Well, and I
understand
that. I understand that. You know, you can't farm people.
Right. So, well, can you? I mean, we do a pretty good job with cows and pigs and chickens and.
Right. You legally can't. You can have body farms.
I'm down with that. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Farms are weird.
Yeah.
And if there was like a charity to start a body farm and I knew that that money was going to be spent there, then I would do that. I just, for me, I just need to be able to see a definitive path that my money's going to go down.
And,
you know.
But how expensive would it be to make that sort of transparency a reality?
It's all a moral thing. You know, they already set their system up to not show us that in the first place. So why? You started your company from the get-go trying to hide shit.
How would they go about proving that to you? I mean, that's a lot of accounting you would have to do to prove that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of paperwork, and they kind of made it that way, I feel like, you know? So, like, companies that don't do that make it infinitely easier to see where their money goes.
Who made it that way? Who made it? Like, you're saying that they made it complicated on purpose?
I would say so, yeah.
Oh, man, no, dude. Have you ever seen a ledger? It's ridiculous. And then
right, but you know how easy it is to fake an invoice.
Yeah.
So you can fill a ledger full of bullshit if you want. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but I mean, even if the ledger was 100%, even if, like, you know, I'm sure that the ledgers are mostly okay.
Yeah.
Even if they are perfect, it would take me probably a year to get through the Red Cross's ledger. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, wait,
I wouldn't even know how to look that up. Like,
yeah, dude, like, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Charities.
I'll bet you can look that shit up, especially if it's a government. If it's a government, you know, something the government is putting in, they're fit. They know.
Do they do Peace Corps? Who does Peace Corps?
Who does Peace Corps? Person watching, look it up and let us know, please. If you do that, I'll do a huge dab and say that you're smarter than me for the next 10 minutes. Okay? So, yep. Yeah, but the smartness will only last for 10 minutes. So, that's a lot.
Mm.
You know? Yeah, because
so
I'm not going
to... a little intelligence potion.
Yeah. It's a little humble potion is what it is. A little humble potion.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I will be humble for 10 minutes and admit that you're smarter than me. And then after that, I'll be back to being much smarter than everyone.
And buffer than probably that one person watching.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, dude.
You think if you and that person watching arm wrestled, you'd win?
I'd so win. Person watching, dude. That's arm wrestle. I'll give you what for. You have no clue.
It's all the technique. It's all the technique.
All right. So, do you have any experiences doing charity that you'd like to share with us?
The only charity I've ever done was technically government enforced. So.
How did it feel?
I got to choose where I wanted to do my charity, and at the time, I was already doing volunteer work at this gymnasium to get my gymnastics certification. So they just started keeping track of the hours on 2 pieces of paper instead of 1. And I did my charity.
Okay. So a gymnastics instructor or what?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're a gymnast?
Well, because you have to, I guess.
Gymnasty?
I can get gymnasty.
You can get gymnasty. I've seen him do backflips off of rocks on mountains and shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Danny, don't do that, dude. I'll have to carry you down. Jesus Christ, stop it.
But you're so buff, like it wouldn't matter.
Right, exactly. I would just, boom, throw him over the shoulders. And if I got tired, my mustache would take over. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Free mustache rides, ladies.
Dude. Yeah. Okay, so, all right.
But yeah, so I did my charity work at a gymnasium.
Right, and
teaching like 6 to 14-year-olds how to tumble.
That's pretty funny. Where I work at a gym, and there is a little girls tumbling class a few times a week. Dude, it is so funny to watch them in there.
You guys should go in there and just school.
Yeah. Let's get it on video, man.
I know.
That would be so hilarious.
Just have a bro down with the instructors.
Yeah.
Like, what you got, dude? What's your set look like, man?
Dude, I'll go in and sandbag.
What's his name? I'm calling you out.
No, it's a lady. It's a lady. I can't remember her name.
Dude,
darn it.
It's funny because in the gymnastics
I
world, now that I know she's a lady, I think that she might win, so I regret.
No, not her, but there's one of the little girl's moms, I think.
Who's a beast?
She sure looks. She looks. I've never seen her do anything, but she looks built right, and her daughter can do some shit. And the other day, I seen them practicing, and I was just like, oh my god, my heart was in my throat the whole time. She would do all these, and her mom just all.
Right.
And it's weird, like it's so
her mom
easy.
Does the spotting?
Yeah, her mom's the spotting. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Which she makes it look so effortless. Which I realize, oh, it really is. The work is all the little girl. She's the one that has to do all this. Right. You're just there to make sure if she falls, you just she doesn't break herself in half. Like you're not gonna catch her.
You're bracing for impact.
Yeah, that's it.
So as a spotter, you get when you're doing spots, you get trained for each maneuver, so you'll get trained on a backflip and then a front flip and then, like Grammys and shit. Like, so I was certified, and that's how you get your certifications, is like once you finish a bracket of like tricks, then you can get certified at a certain level. You know what I mean? So I was certified up to back fulls or back 360s.
Shit.
So and to get a certification, you have to be able to spot that trick, not do it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you can't actually do shit.
That's my favorite trick.
Oh, really? What?
Back pulls are my favorite, dude. That's
fuck, dude.
But that's the most complex trick.
Can you do one on screen?
No.
Oh, no. No, come on, man. No roughhousing? There's no adults here, bro. We're home alone right now, dude. No. Well, seriously, though, like...
But if you guys want to check out my Instagram, dtinker3, just hit that up, and there's a couple flip bids, and... some wall flips and
shit, dude.
Once winter is over, I'm gonna be hitting that pretty hard as well.
Down, so down. We should definitely. You should hit up Shane about borrowing his
slackline.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This is a good time. I want to learn how to.
Pretty sure he likes me. Pretty sure.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
He's very stoic.
Very. That's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Stoic is like a way of life. Stoicism.
Oh man, and especially I could just totally see him at the top of a rock, not even
all
like his
with his dog and just like
just the smile would all be in his eyes.
Right. It's like an actor's gift.
Yeah.
To be able to smile with your eyes.
Yeah, such blue steel.
Yeah, ooh, Magnum.
Blue Magnum.
It's all about that Magnum
game. Speaking of Magnum game, we were going to talk about oral pleasure, and I'm sure that the person tuned in watching was really hoping that we were talking about bobbing knobs and licking some tacos, but.
Right.
You kind of wanted to flip the script a little bit, I like it.
Yeah, dude.
I like it. What can I say?
Oral pleasure.
Let's flip the script. Like a gymnastics flick.
Because he told me that was like one of the topics for the thing. So he said it, and when I processed, I immediately thought of cigarettes. Like an oral pleasure, like in a spit, like
oral fixation.
Yeah, an oral fixation, and I don't know. Then my brain went to candy and random other things like this vaporizer and
okay, gum,
like gum. Yeah, just like
sunflower
touching
seeds,
your face. Those are all oral pleasures in their own way.
And okay, and eating.
Eating.
Oh wow. Okay.
Eating.
Consuming.
Right.
We live in a consumerist society.
Having a dry mouth. Right. Just, I don't know. Those are all, like, they're all semi-little things that are oral pleasures that aren't related to bobbing knobs.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So it's, but aside from chewing gum, all of those fixations also involve a hand movement or a hand gesture.
Or like a jawbreaker.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Chewing on your tongue, biting your tongue, sticking your tongue out when you're determined. Chewing on your lip, playing with your mustache. Growing facial hair in the first place, cutting your facial hair.
That has nothing to do with oral pleasure. Get out of here. This has to do with...
You don't think so?
Nah,
your
man,
top lip doesn't count as oral? That's not part of your mouth?
I don't know, man. Yes, yeah, but I mean, it's not like once it's there, you don't even feel it anymore unless it's like
your mustache.
Yeah, your mustache. Yeah, you know, unless you shave it, then the wind hits it, and that feels good for like an hour.
Because when it's like all brittly and scraggly like this, when you cut it and it grows back, sometimes you like smile and random little ones will poke into.
Okay.
And it hurts and stuff.
But it's not like. It's not something you think about where it's like, you know, You
don't think about, I'm going to go home and shave. It's going to feel good to shave.
No.
I wanted to do that for so long.
No, it's more like, oh shit, it's Wednesday. That's the day that I shave. I better do that shit. Yeah. Dude, what would a caveman do, man? Would a caveman shave that often? Nah, man. No. Fuck nah. What the hell? What for, dude?
Maybe I'll dread it out.
Fuck yeah.
See, what I want to know is how come caveman could like be all dirty and whatever, genetically brutish, and keep their teeth? And how come our teeth have gotten so not dope like that?
Well, part of it has to do with the amount of sugar that is in everything. Everything that we eat goes with much sugar in it.
You eat sugar and sugar eats your teeth.
That's right. That's right. I don't eat that much sugar, man. I'm just throwing that out there. Just don't eat that much sugar and your teeth will be a lot healthier.
I wish I had something like a candy. I'm like, yeah, neither do I.
Right. Right. But I mean, like, I know, the more bored or stressed out I am, the more likely I am to want to eat or to want to have a chew or chew a gum or have sunflower seeds have been a thing for me lately.
There's a big trend, especially in such the fit place of Colorado Springs, water bottles.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't get onto the water bottle as an oral fixation. That was really because I was having health issues and
right. But there's like a lot of hiker people and stuff that will carry around their water bottles and like the sporty ones and like they'll hold conversation and mess with it
and messing with it. Yeah. Right, I get it. When I have my water bottle, I like to leave it on the counter in the workshop and just every hour I come back and just have a chug of lug.
One invention that's definitely not helping this case is like the Camelback. It's like this little nipple you have to bite on.
Yeah. Remember? Oh, you're pretty young, dude. Do you remember the era of Plur? Do you remember? Plur. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Yeah, the ravers and shit. Yep. Okay. Yeah. And, the pacifiers.
The pacifiers. Well, that's because they were doing drugs.
Well, I know. But what is it about drugs that totally amplifies that effect? I mean, think about it. When you're on blood, I mean, everything, totally amplifies the desire to
increase blood flow, activate
hypertension
or something.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Just like like an overflow. And so what is, I think, okay, what do you think is the root cause of this? Like, evolutionarily speaking, what are we...
The oral fixation thing?
Yeah, oral fixation or the hand-mouth fixation, either one. I mean, because I think the hand-mouth is more prevalent.
Well, I don't know, dude, because from infant, like, as a baby, you know, in caveman world, you would have just suckled up to the nip and got fed till you didn't need it.
Mm-hmm. But that lasts for a couple of months, and then they're grabbing every fucking thing and using their hands to put it in their mouth.
Right,
and they're putting their hand in their mouth.
Cognitive development. I think that's why they would do that early on.
Mm-hmm.
But the oral fixation, I think, would more develop because of the food source, the nipple, the suckling.
Right, and most of the time, though, when we eat, it's with our hands, though.
Yeah.
You know, like we're doing...
Right. Well, that's our tool, you know, like, since we have thumbs, that's the way that that's the path we chose as a species.
But we do it mindlessly. Why do it incessantly? Why do it habitually? Why do it, you know, smoking is not eating, you know what I'm saying? Right. Sunflower seeds is not really an efficient way of eating, you know.
Right.
Chewing gum is not eating. It's not nourishing.
Those are all like, well, the sunflower seeds definitely are.
Yeah, they're fucking delicious. But oh my god.
Those other examples
Dill
are definitely because they're man-made things built specifically around the chemical reaction we're talking about so they can make money off of it.
And what chemical reaction is derived from even, like, just this, doing this, like a baby sucking its thumb or chewing your fingernails.
When you put something in your mouth, there's a stimulus that tells your stomach it's receiving something. And that
makes sense. Probably conditioning.
Yeah. Right. So then that will always release like dopamine and stuff like that, you know. So like if I chew on gum, I'm going to imitate eating for however long I chew that gum.
Okay, so that makes sense. When I'm working my real heavy shifts on Wednesdays, that's when I am more, and that's the time when I have my only caffeine throughout the week, and that's the time when I eat the most sunflower seeds and chew the most gum. And it's part of it is focus. There's a lot to do. I have to move very quickly.
Right.
Part of it is when I'm moving very quickly and focusing, I just get a lot more hungry and I don't have the time to stop and eat.
Yeah.
You know.
So caffeine acts as like a food repressant, a hunger repressant, not a food repressant. And having those imitation foods setting off those chemicals is telling your body that it's getting food.
Okay, so it's like a double whammy of like, hey...
Yeah, you're suppressing your metabolism with caffeine.
And then tricking it into thinking that
it got what it needed.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. For everybody that doesn't know, Daniel Tinker is a scientist. He got his PhD pot-hitting degree.
Did you really tell somebody that?
No. Did you? That's awesome.
I know that. I think it was Evan, my friend in California.
Okay.
Introduced me to a group of his friends, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is my friend. He's an engineer."
That dude, that Evan was out here, right?
Yeah, Evan was out here.
Yeah. I remember Evan.
Yeah,
that dude's funny, man. OD.
I check.
I love OD.
Oh man.
That's so funny. Oh great. Okay, so all right, so but okay, that I understand how this is giving a stimulus, but why are we doing that in a state of, I think,
empty-mindedness?
Yeah, like why are we doing it? You know what I mean?
It's because the tools we've been given to survive, right? So everything that your brain does is usually most energy efficient, and it's built several neuronic pathways to get the most efficient thing out of that, muscle memory and such, right? So since our hands are closer to the orifice that gives us the energy we need to survive than our toes are, you know, we don't use our feet to eat, it would cost more energy for us to develop that muscle memory to do so. So our brain automatically opted out of that route.
Right, okay, I understand that.
Right, so for millions of years, that's been happening and the hands have been winning for millions of years.
Okay.
So at this point, we can mindlessly do it with a built-in neurotic, not a neurotic, like a electrical network in your like.
But if our mind is wired to do things efficiently,
yeah,
which I agree it is,
right?
Why do the inefficient task of smoking a cigarette, or chewing gum, or chewing on your fingernails?
You take an inefficient task and you use your perceptiveness to make it most beneficial for you. So you kind of take the pros and cons till your Wednesday, your most busy day, and you bite the bullet on actual nutrition and trade it for efficiency. So your brain has already made that connect, you've benefited already.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that makes a little bit of sense. So you have conditioned your brain into thinking that this particular situation is satisfactory. It's great.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And the brain has been conditioned that way for so long that I'm thinking it is now a passive ability.
Okay.
This is the most satisfactory way to do it. Every other way would be uncomfortable.
Okay.
Every other way would take more. I would have to do something,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why the hand-to-mouth oral fixation is the most common.
Okay.
So anything that you would have to hold and use back to the mouth, like a cigarette exactly, or this.
Okay, and so the whole point of it is to give your mind a false sense of satisfaction.
Right, I activated the tool I have for easiest energy consumption. Now I need to use it.
Yeah.
And every time I touch this, my brain's probably going to tell me that. And if I don't use it, I guarantee you I had to fight my brain telling me that.
Okay.
Just because I touched it. Half the times that'll happen because I looked at it. The pathways are so strong.
The impulses,
yeah.
right.
Blam!
Blah, blah,
I need this.
Okay. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And people, as perceptive as they are, have taken advantage of that with these things that aren't nutritious, gum and cigarettes and bullshit.
So I sort of think it's when I do think that it's calming a sense, like it's providing a sense of calm by tricking you into a sense of satisfaction by activating a tool that you have laying around not really doing what it was meant to do, which was, we were not designed to type. We were not designed.
Right.
We're doing stuff. We have like let's do some shit. You know what I mean? And so I think you get restless. I think that also though when you get stressed out, there's a level of like trauma, and when somebody experiences trauma at certain, especially in a very young age, they experience a sort of regression in their, developmental stages of growth.
Most definitely.
Becoming unpotty trained after a traumatic event as a young kid, and then having to be re-potty trained, or
so and sorry for everybody that this has happened to, but you are a kid. You pee the bed, and you get beaten for it.
Yeah, that's traumatic.
That's traumatic.
Right. And that would further reinforce the digression instead of progression.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Or regression, instead of progression.
You're taking rungs off of the ladder.
Right. So, I think that one of the very common things that animals and young children and people freak out the most about in a dire situation is where's the food going to come from, and I think that's more like kind of along the lines of what you were saying, activating the most our most efficient survival mechanism, and I think that's our most important survival mechanism. We breathe, okay, we get water, but then after that it's like we know we're going to get food and water, or air and water.
Yep.
We take that for granted as a given, but it's like where's our next meal coming from? Where's
another thing that kind of bothers me is that at this point you can get every type of any food at any time of the year. And that's cool, that's awesome, I get it. I get it, but I just don't like that.
Oh. You don't?
Know what I mean? I don't. I really don't like that.
Explícame.
You think that, like, I don't know, there are seasonal things, you know, strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be able to buy strawberries in Colorado in the dead of winter.
Right, and you know, who wants to buy them in the dead of winter? They taste like shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Just ruining strawberries. They look mad.
But anyway, so like...
seriously, if a kid had never had strawberries before, and you gave him a strawberry in the winter, and then like, hey, it's summertime, let's have strawberries, you'd be like, not really into strawberries, and everybody would be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, they're everywhere right now.
Well, no, not that, just because he's tasted them in winter when they taste like crap. The first time he had them was bland and... This... Okay. Blech.
Blech.
So then when they're fucking ripe and delicious, he's like, yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, thanks, though. He doesn't understand why people's eyes are rolling back. You guys like the taste of...
But I don't
shit.
like how people are taking advantage of the fact that that's a human reaction, the need, the whole activation, the tool thing, you know, and they've like implemented it across foods too. It's not just us that they've taken advantage of.
Yeah, okay.
They did it to foods too.
Yeah.
You know, now every food is available for that to like happen, I guess. You know?
Okay, yeah.
And that's kind of why I don't like it.
So I was going to say, along the lines
nature.
of not having, you know, seasonal fruits year round,
Right.
I believe that beef should be more expensive than it is. Like, it should not be as...
Milk should be more expensive than it is.
Yeah, cheese should be... And I love these things. They're fantastic, but...
Right.
You know,
we do fucking take them for granted. There's
right.
no doubt about it.
I'm not
we should probably stop, dude. Because, like, in the 50s... This is a really good topic, actually. I like this. In the 50s, dude, the American dream was to be able to come out to America and try out your dreams and fail at them and then opt out and buy a fucking dairy farm. And then just make it and be able to feed your family off of just a dairy farm, you know. And nowadays you cannot do that at all whatsoever. So like, the American dream has been eschewed, and I feel like if we were to give back to our roots in that way, it would be super beneficial for our country.
I like that shit. I like that. Go back to more agrarian stuff. I like that because I feel like many of the people that I have met today, you know, in today's society, are pussies. I mean, you know, I hate to sound like the uber conservative, but I mean, people are pussies these days. I don't understand, and I know why. I mean, they've never seen horses hump, and they've never seen cows give birth, and they've never seen a goat die.
Right.
You know, they've never seen
and
a chicken alive in the morning and in a pot by the afternoon.
Right. I mean, living on a farm, and I'm taking these words from a documentary, so a credit to whoever said this. But
good job, you.
Living on a farm can teach you everything you need to know about life, from loving something, hard work, dedication, perseverance, death, everything you need to, all the hard lessons in life that a city kid is going to need to experience, things that might be traumatic to them, they get to experience in a family environment. You know what I mean? I mean, so there's...
In context.
In context, with adults around generally. I mean, like, everybody that you're going to run into on the farm, when you tell them that the goat died, they're going to
know, they know what that feels like.
Right.
They know what it felt like as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
They know what it felt like a few years later. They know what it felt like the third time they saw a goat die. They remember what it felt like when the flu killed 4 of them one year.
Right. They remember all that. And as a city kid myself, I never got that. You know, I was just lucky enough to gain as much around me to be able to step back now and appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because my setting was very much like, you know, rats crawling up walls and kids stepping on fucking roly-polies for fun. And there's snails all over the place, so like that, stepping on snails and pouring salt on snails. Like, just being messed up animals. Kids, yeah.
You're
dude.
such a savage.
And like that's...
You should be ashamed of yourself. Dude, well... Dude, is this a topic we're gonna go down right now? This sounds like a whole nother thing. I mean, wowzer. Let's get back to the oral fixations, dude. Yeah, because we could go on for that for hours. All right, so what are the most popular oral fixations? I mean, smoking, any kind of smoking.
Any kind of smoking.
Any kind of smoking.
Penises.
Those
get put in mouths a lot.
They do, but is that really a fixation? Do you think
that there are people out there that just want to give head? I think so.
Like all the time. That's just like on their mind. Like that's why they're chewing on a pen, because they're like
maybe
imagining that.
Okay, probably not. More often than not more often than not. But sure, that could go in the category. Why not?
I'm sure there are some out there. I'm not sure.
So like chewing
popular.
on pens is one for sure.
Okay. Chewing on your fingernails.
Chewing on your fingernails, and that can also be like a nervous habit. But after a time, like that habit will coincide with.
But a lot of oral fixations are nervous habits. I mean, people smoking. Shit gets a little out of hand. Go have a cigarette, or smoke a joint.
So, and then when you don't have a cigarette and you don't get your oral fixation, you have, fits and.
It compounds your stress,
which
is, I think that's interesting about people's oral fixations. Okay, what else? Let's think. What are the weirdest ones that you think you've seen in public, or that you've heard about anyway?
Well, like in Santa Monica, there's people like street performers that will eat glass.
And okay, so what? Okay, I thought that was all just television tricks. How does that even work?
See, I don't know, dude. Because one time,
at band camp.
Yeah, one time at band camp, we were all around one of those dudes, and we broke a glass. And we were like, "Dude, you step on this, eat some of this," and he's like, "No, it's not the same." So he might have like sugar glass, movie quality glass.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because he's like stepping on it, rolling around, kicking it around and shit. Like he's not scared.
Right.
And the only thing I would know of is either like you have leather skin and you're superhuman and you shouldn't be on the boardwalk, or it's fake glass.
Right. Okay, it's gotta be fake glass. It isn't the same,
reptile people or fake glass,
Oh, reptilians. Citrus knows about them.
He knows knows about them, like just the conspiracy theory.
See, he knows an awful lot. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to get him in trouble with the reptilians. I may have said too much already.
No.
The reptilians definitely watch my show, bro.
Alright, well.
Yeah.
This is not the Illuminati triangle
either. Okay. Okay, so eating glass. I'm trying to think what's the weirdest one.
Pica is an eating disorder.
Oh, dude, we thought my youngest son had that for a long time,
really?
Bro. Dude, check this out.
One of my ex-girlfriends had pica.
Really?
Yeah, she liked to eat styrofoam.
Weird. What is that like?
It's very easy to ignore.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because, I don't know.
How?
Because it was usually just like styrofoam cups and shit,
But that makes a squeaking sound. I'd be like, bitch.
I don't care.
She's hot?
No, I didn't care about the noise or whatever.
Really?
These tiny little... She's never just munching down on huge chunks of styrofoam. Like, it's just like little bits. It's really a lot like chewing on your fingernails. It could be pieces of paper or little bits of wood.
I would have to see what her poop looks like. Like, if that was my girlfriend... I am not into poop. That is not my thing, okay? But in my mind, I gotta know. I mean, her poop always floats, I'm sure. Always.
Like pumice stuff.
It's probably hard to flush. She probably has to hold it down with the plunger, and while she flushes it, and so it gets caught in the force,
Dude. For those people with wicked eating disorders like that, let's say you did eat bricks of styrofoam a day. Think about the noises of that styrofoam shit exiting. Yeah, dude. You'd have styrofoam squeaker farts.
Oh my god. Alright, dude, so my youngest boy used to eat rocks and bricks and sand and soil and chalk. And I'm talking about
Chalk.
okay, so we had, instead of gravel, there was a bunch of crushed up bricks. So in our neighborhood, the houses are all back there, the houses were all made of these bricks that were made on the spot. Oversized bricks, you know, like the size of computer towers and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so our house,
Pavers.
kind of, I guess, they have a special name for them and it's escaping me right now.
Okay.
But they were all, for our gravel in our yard, they were all, a bunch of those were crushed up and used for gravel. It was very nice. It was very nice. It was very classy. It was very nice. I would recommend it for anybody. And my son thought they had a very nice taste. And like he would have chunks of this and just
Dude, you're reminding me of the mole guy from Atlantis.
What?
Yeah, that movie Atlantis.
The cartoon, right?
Cartoon,
I never seen it. I always wanted
so
to.
Good.
Really?
So good.
Okay, it got terrible reviews.
And
that's how I know it's bad.
The mole dude fucking eats dirt and he knows where it's from. He's like, oh, Brazilian. Fucking fine grain, premium top grade. You know, like,
that's pretty.
It's
so, yeah, that
funny,
was,
dude. Yeah, like,
that was low boy,
of.
dude, for sure. So then there was
This isn't topsoil. Get
Get
out of here.
That was the next one. We had a planter next to the door, and my oldest son, used to go and catch ant lions out of the soil there.
Yeah.
Right, and
Those
so
things are gnar.
my little boy would go over there. We thought he was catching ant lions, but no, he was just globs of soil and just eating the soil, just outright eating it, you know, by the handful.
Wow.
There would be
That's a whole new definition to earthing.
Dude, it was crazy.
Fuck walking around without shoes on, dude. Start eating dirt. You want to touch with Mother Earth?
Such a hillbilly, dude. And he ran everywhere barefoot. He had, dude, his feet are tough as leather, like baseball mitts. So then we started drawing, you know, on the driveway with sidewalk chalk, you know.
Yeah.
I turned around and this motherfucker just taking off chunks, munching through them, chewing them so hard, just, you know, his saliva super white. Somehow he's swallowing them. He's happy as a pig in mud, right? So, first time we think it's kind of funny, whatever, we take the stuff away from him. He ends up, like, creating stashes of bricks and soil and chalk around the house.
Oh my God.
Bro, no joke, one day I'm walking in the kitchen and I'm looking behind, because we had 2 refrigerators actually, you know, it was actually, you know, a lot of, when you have a big family, you have to have, it's actually 2 freezers, one of them was a freezer, and so I was, you know, having to be looking behind there for, I believe I was getting the broom, and there's, you know, this stash of, you know, my baby food more or less, right? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, so I grab it and I, you know, go and I put it on the counter somewhere, you know, up in a closet, or a cabinet. I was going to show Tara later, my wife. And sure enough, as soon as I put it up in the cabinet and turn around, little dude, Tony, comes running around the corner. And just totally, like came around the corner and looked directly where his shit should have been and lost his mind, bro. Like, disturbances of force style.
Dad, where's my stash?
Dude, it broke my heart. He was so serious.
You should be getting in the way of me and my cobs, Dad. I need my stash. I learned it from you. Dude, no shit, right?
So his teeth are all fucked up, and we decided those teeth are gonna fall out anyway, man. We're just gonna leave them, and then, you know, if we catch him eating like that when he's got his grown-up teeth in, I'm gonna have to put a whooping on him, dude, alright? No. So yeah, it's pretty. So what I'm getting at is, when he would shit,
bricks.
He would shit, and there would be rocks and sand and granules and soil, and sometimes it would be, you know, like this pale pink because he was eating red chalk that day, or fucking, or, you know, white, just like a ghostly shit, man, because he ate so much chalk.
Like it's dry already.
Dude, oh yeah, it would, dude. And you could see him struggling. Like, we've all seen the kid turn purple that was shitting, man. And I'm telling many shades of purple, and you're just going, I hope he learns. I hope he figures it out. He's healthy as a fucking horse right now. I mean, sturdy, solid. He doesn't do that shit anymore. Hasn't in years.
Think about how awesome that would be for cleaning the system. Those rocks could like break up so much gunk.
Man, but dude, at 2, 3 years old, how much gunk is in there? Why is there gunk?
A lot of carrot paste he's already eaten, dude. He's tired of shitting orange. He's ready for a different color.
Oh man, what if, dude, the first time I had beets, I was hanging citrus. And so, alright, so I had colitis, and when I came up here, my colitis was not completely under control. And I was eating, trying out some, new healthy guidelines and stuff, and new healthy diet stuff, hanging out with my aunt and uncle, and of course hanging out with citrus. And one day he's like, hey, let's have some beets. And so we had some beets, and they were delicious. Oh my God, I cannot believe.
Slices?
Yeah, he had them sliced up, and they were fresh ones, and he fried them or whatever. They were delicious.
Or whatever.
Yeah, my God, they're so good. And then the next day, I was taking a shit, and my heart fucking sank. Okay, I have colitis, man.
Yeah.
I have had some scary ass shits. Okay.
Colitis.
Tara, you need to come see this.
I don't care how big it is.
No. Tara, get in here right now.
Damn it!
If you're not gonna come in here, you better call 911. Okay, just that's nothing. He's having a hemorrhoid. All right, years and years later. So then there I am, and I see that, and dude, what? I'm gonna die in my uncle's bathroom here in Colorado, or just up in Lone Tree.
Oh my God.
Man, fuck this shit. Jesus. Dude, I went and got the phone, and I'm looking it up, and Googling this shit, and oh my God. And I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm freaking out, dude.
Yeah.
I'm shaking, man. I'm like, okay. What did I eat last night? Beets. Is that bad? Is that bad for you? And I looked up beets, and it says actually beets are used to help diagnose colitis sometimes. They're actually used.
I need my medicine.
Fuck! Oh shit! So I realized, all right, if your friend has never had beets before, you have an obligation to let him know what's gonna happen, bro.
No, you don't, Internet.
It's the best prank ever, dude.
Because it's always funny when it's somebody else.
Yeah, dude, it was so intense. I was terrified.
I'll never forget that. Me and my sister weren't getting along very well, and she had replaced my toothpaste with itching cream.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. And the way that I had reacted, like, I freaked out, and I just basically throated all of the cortisone cream on the tongue. You know what I mean? So, like, I practically swallowed, and I use a lot of toothpaste because I think my teeth are fucked up. So, so it was a lot of itching cream this time. Yeah, I did a fat globber, and I straight swallowed it, and I took the most green poop I've ever seen in my life, dude. It was like
egg green.
It was like fucking cartoon neon green. Dude.
I want to say. Oh yeah, dude.
Which is weird, man, because cortisone green is pink. So I don't know what kind of chemicals.
Oh shit, dude.
But yeah, I was flipping out in the bathroom. I was like Googling it right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I went into work and I was telling my boss, I was like, look, dude, even if I am fine, I'm not gonna be worth a fuck here today.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out. I cannot be here. I cannot be here.
Boss, I
don't feel good because my brain's telling me that I might not feel good. I could be totally fine, but my brain's telling me that I might not be. Do you understand? Like, I gotta go.
I just shit that thing that fell in Homer's pocket at the beginning of the Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
Surely you can sympathize with me, boss.
I just don't think that's normal.
Not
But
at
yeah,
all.
so that's like, and like whenever you eat, since you're like a health nut, you don't eat Takis or
Fuck no.
like whole bags of hot Cheetos.
Right, no.
Yeah, but that will do that to you.
That's
That will give you the beats effect.
Oh, shit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call it. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet. Thanks, Danny, for hanging out with us and
Thanks for
shit.
having me.
It was a lot
It's
of
always a
fun.
blast.
Peace out. Catch us next time. Who knows what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. And